Ready to dive into Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
This one's a classic in the personal finance world.
It is, for sure, and for good reason.
So we really want to break down those big ideas.
Right, and hopefully help you, the listener, level up your money game a bit.
I'm excited to see what we can pull out.
Yeah, me too. I think one of the most interesting things about this book is it throws out a lot of traditional money advice.
Okay.
Kiyosaki uses his life story as a way to illustrate this point, comparing the guidance he got from two different dads.
You mean his biological father, the poor dad, and his friend's dad, the rich dad.
Exactly.
And it's kind of wild how Kiyosaki's poor dad struggled financially even with a good education.
Yeah.
But then the rich dad builds this empire as an entrepreneur and ends up like one of the richest men in Hawaii.
Wow.
What was Rich Dad doing that was so different?
Well, that's exactly what Kiyosaki explores throughout the book, really. He highlights that it's not just about how much you earn, but about how you manage that money.
And how you leverage it, you know? And that's where his concept of the rat race comes in. Have you ever felt like you're stuck on this treadmill?
Oh, absolutely.
You're working hard, but not really getting anywhere financially?
I think most of us can relate to that feeling at some point.
Yeah.
But Kiyosaki, he really breaks down this rat race.
He does, yeah. He uses this example of like someone going to college, getting a good job, they start making, decent money. And then here's the thing, right?
What's the catch?
As soon as their income increases, their spending follows suit.
Ah, the lifestyle creep.
Right. Suddenly it's mortgages, car payments, credit card debt.
All those expenses that come with like this successful lifestyle, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so they're constantly working just to keep up with those bills
Never really heading ahead.
and never achieving, true financial freedom.
It's such a powerful image.
Right. And it really makes you realize that you can be doing well in your career, but still be like trapped in this rat race.
Yeah.
So how do we break free?
Well, Kiyosaki suggests that understanding the difference between assets and liabilities, that's crucial.
He uses those really simple diagrams, almost like something you'd explain to a child.
Right.
And it really drove the point home.
Oh, yeah. I remember those. They're brilliant because they cut through all the complexity,
Yeah.
make it clear for like anyone to understand, right? At the core, his message is, instead of accumulating liabilities, you need to focus on building a solid base of assets.
So can you give me like an example? What might that actually look like?
Sure. Think about a rental property
Okay.
that generates positive cash flow every single month.
Mm-hmm.
That's an asset.
Okay.
You're putting very little, maybe no money in,
Yeah.
but money is flowing into your pocket.
I like the sound of that.
Now imagine you have a car loan. Right. That's a liability. That's costing you money every single month, draining your resources.
Right. Okay, so the takeaway here is you want your money working for you, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Almost like transitioning from that employee mindset of trading time for money to like more of a business owner or investor mindset.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head.
Okay, good.
Kiyosaki's really advocating for this shift in perspective.
Yeah.
And he constantly emphasizes the importance of financial literacy.
You're right. Understanding how money actually works, not just how to earn it.
Yes. And he actually criticizes the traditional education system for, failing to equip people with these essential skills.
It's almost like we're thrown into this world of money without like a proper rule book.
Right.
So where do we even begin?
Yeah, it's a good question. So where do we begin? Kiyosaki, he suggests we focus on increasing our financial literacy.
Okay.
He really pushes for understanding financial statements, learning about taxes, and becoming more savvy about investing.
These are areas where I think a lot of people feel lost, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And feeling lost can lead to fear and doubt,
Right.
which Kiyosaki says is like another huge obstacle to success.
Exactly. And fear can be incredibly paralyzing.
He even tells this great anecdote about a woman demanding a refund after playing his cash flow board game.
Oh, wow.
That story, it really highlights how fear, especially the fear of losing money, can prevent people from even engaging with the concepts,
Yeah.
let alone taking action.
Let alone taking action. That's a huge point. But Kiyosaki's philosophy, it's all about action.
Okay.
He believes in learning by doing, taking, calculated risks and quickly adapting based on your experiences.
And he doesn't just preach this, like he actually walks the walk, right?
He does. He shares some really compelling personal examples.
Like what?
Like how he bought a $75,000 house for only $20,000.
Wow.
and then quickly flipped it for a profit.
That's pretty bold.
Yeah.
Seems like he's all about being proactive and capitalizing on opportunities that other people might miss because they're too afraid to take the leap.
Yeah, you got it. He stresses that it's not about waiting for the perfect moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's about recognizing those opportunities and having the courage to seize them, you know?
Okay, so we've got to be brave, learn by doing, focus on building assets. What other key ideas does he present?
He really emphasizes the power of business systems.
Yeah.
It's not just about being good at a specific skill,
Mm-hmm.
but it's about creating a system that can generate wealth even without your direct involvement.
Okay.
Think about a business like McDonald's.
Good.
Their system is what makes them so successful.
Not necessarily the food, huh?
Not necessarily, no. He's basically saying that building a successful business isn't just about working hard in the business, but working on the business itself.
Mm-hmm.
So creating a system that can function effectively whether you're there or not, that's key.
That's fascinating. He also encourages people to think like a business owner, even if they're currently employed, right?
He does, yeah. He has a term for that, minding your own business.
What does he mean by that?
Well, it's about cultivating an entrepreneurial mindset,
Okay.
looking for opportunities to create wealth outside of a traditional job.
Mhm.
So that might be building a side business, investing in income-generating assets, or leveraging your skills and knowledge to create multiple streams of income.
So even if you're not ready to quit your day job, you can start thinking and acting like an entrepreneur
Absolutely.
to build your own financial future.
It's about taking control and not relying solely on a job for your financial security.
I like it. Okay. And to do that successfully, you need that financial literacy,
You do. You got it.
understanding those rules of the game.
Yeah.
One concept I found particularly interesting was his idea of paying yourself first.
Oh, yeah.
Seems so counterintuitive compared to the traditional advice of, budget and save what's left over.
It is. It's definitely a mindset shift. Kiyosaki suggests prioritizing your savings and investments before paying bills.
Which can feel kind of risky at first, right?
It can. But his point is if you wait till the end of the month to save, there's often nothing left.
Right, right.
By paying yourself first, you're making sure your financial future is consistently taken care of.
You're prioritizing that asset column, right?
Exactly. His diagrams are so helpful for visualizing this. They really make this complicated concept so easy to understand, even for preteens.
So almost like you're becoming your own most important creditor.
Exactly. You're making a commitment to your financial well-being. You're putting your future self first.
I love it. This is all so insightful. It feels like we're starting to unravel some of the mysteries behind building wealth. Any other major takeaways from this first part of our deep dive?
One more that really stands out is his emphasis on learning from others.
Okay.
He's a big believer in having financial mentors and modeling successful individuals.
Like he talked about how his rich dad played this crucial role in his financial education, right?
He did?
Sharing insights and lessons he wouldn't have learned elsewhere.
Yeah.
He even suggests readers identify their own financial heroes.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's like building your own personal, financial dream team.
It is.
Yeah.
So it's about finding those people who have already achieved what you want to achieve and learning from their successes, but also their mistakes.
Right. Exactly.
This is inspiring. It feels like Kiyosaki is giving us a roadmap, not just to financial success, but like a whole new way of thinking about money and our relationship with it.
I completely agree. And he even brings up this concept that might seem, unexpected in a book about finance.
What's that?
The power of giving.
I'm curious about that. How does generosity tie into financial success?
Kiyosaki believes that giving can actually lead to greater abundance.
Okay.
He shares stories about times when he needed, money or help, and how acts of generosity, even small ones, opened up these unexpected doors and opportunities.
Interesting.
He even talks about the idea of being an Indian giver.
What does that even mean?
He uses it to describe the willingness to give freely without expecting anything in return.
Right.
With this understanding that what you give will ultimately come back to you in unexpected ways.
Almost like putting positive energy out into the world can create this ripple effect
Yes.
that benefits you in the long run,
Exactly.
both financially and personally.
It's a fascinating concept, and it speaks to this broader philosophy that he weaves throughout the book.
Mm-hmm.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad isn't just about, the nuts and bolts of finance.
Right.
It's about cultivating this mindset of abundance
Yeah.
and aligning your actions with your values.
Wow, we covered a lot of ground.
We did.
From the rat race to assets versus liabilities, the importance of financial literacy, taking action, finding mentors. Kiyosaki packs a lot into this book.
He does.
I can't wait to dig into more specifics in part 2.
Yeah, me too.
Stay tuned.
Stay with us. Okay, so picking up where we left off, let's look at some specific strategies that Kiyosaki recommends
Okay.
in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. One that often sparks debate
Yeah.
is his perspective on homeownership.
Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah,
He really challenges the traditional view of a house as an asset,
he does.
saying that for most people, their home is actually a liability.
Yeah, that was one of the points that really surprised me.
It goes against everything we're always told, right?
Right.
How does he justify that?
Well, he argues that while your house might increase in value over time,
okay.
you're constantly pouring money into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, mortgage payments, property taxes, insurance, maintenance, repairs.
Yeah, it all adds up.
It's all that money flowing out,
Not in.
not in. Exactly.
I see what you mean.
He even uses a diagram in the book to illustrate this point,
Yeah.
showing how a house can be a drain on your finances, how those expenses impact your cash flow.
It's a really powerful visual, too,
Yeah.
when you actually see it laid out like that.
Yeah. Exactly. He contrasts that with the cash flow of someone who focuses on building assets that generate income, like rental properties
Okay.
or dividend-paying stocks.
Got it.
It's really a powerful way to visualize the difference between working for money.
Versus having your money work for you.
Exactly.
Okay, so it sounds like he's not saying never buy a house.
No,
Uh-huh.
it's more about being strategic,
Mhm.
understanding the financial implications,
Okay.
maybe seeing your house as a place to live, but not your main investment.
Right.
Yeah. He emphasizes that if your house is your only major asset,
Yeah.
you're really limiting your options.
Okay.
You might have to work harder, longer,
Yeah.
just to cover those expenses, missing out on opportunities to invest in things that could truly build wealth.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's all about perspective and really, having a clear understanding of what's truly an asset versus a liability.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the other practical strategies he dives into?
Well, he digs into the idea of job security, claiming that relying solely on a job for income can really make you vulnerable. You're dependent on someone else for your livelihood,
Yeah.
which can be risky, especially in today's constantly changing economy.
Right. Right.
He encourages readers to think more like business owner,
He does, even if they're currently employed.
even if they are, yeah.
Didn't he have a specific term for that?
He did, yeah.
Something about minding your own business?
That it.
What does that actually mean?
Minding your own business is about taking control of your financial future.
Okay.
It might mean building a business on the side,
Okay.
investing in assets that generate passive income,
Mm-hmm.
or finding, creative ways to leverage your skills and knowledge to create wealth outside of a traditional job.
So it's all about creating options and diversifying your income streams.
Exactly.
So you're not reliant on just a single source.
Yes.
And to do that effectively, he stresses the importance of, financial literacy.
Yes, she does.
He actually kind of takes aim at the traditional education system a bit,
He does.
saying that it often fails to prepare us for the real world of money.
Yeah, he's pretty critical of traditional education.
What's his issue with it?
Well, he argues that schools often don't teach essential financial skills,
Okay.
leaving people unprepared to manage their money, understand investments, or navigate the complexities of taxes.
Now that you mention it,
Yeah.
he does dedicate a significant portion of the book to taxes.
Yeah, he does.
It's not something I would have expected in a personal finance book.
Right, but it's actually a crucial part of the equation, isn't it?
It is.
He argues that this whole take from the rich mentality
Yeah.
often ends up hurting the middle class the most,
Mm-hmm.
not just financially, but also because they haven't been equipped with the knowledge to, to navigate the system effectively.
So people who aren't financially savvy, they end up paying more in taxes,
Yeah.
while those who understand the rules,
Yes.
they can use the system to their advantage.
Exactly. And Kiyosaki suggests that this disparity is further perpetuated by a lack of financial education.
Interesting.
He dives into the history of taxes, explaining how, wealthy individuals and corporations, they often have the resources and knowledge to minimize their tax burden,
Okay.
while the middle class often ends up shouldering a larger share.
It's like a game where only some people know the rules.
Exactly.
It really highlights why financial literacy is so important.
He even goes a step further, suggesting people explore using legal structures like corporations
Okay.
to protect their assets and minimize their tax liability.
That sounds complicated.
It can be, but he emphasizes that these tools are available to everyone.
Not just the wealthy.
Not just the wealthy, no.
Right.
It's about becoming aware of the options, seeking expert advice when needed.
So I guess it all comes back to education, being proactive about your finances.
It does.
What else does he suggest we focus on to become more financially intelligent?
He outlines 4 key skills he calls the technical skills of financial intelligence:
What are they?
accounting, investing, understanding markets, and the law.
Okay, so that covers a pretty broad range.
It does.
Can you break those down for me a bit?
Sure, accounting helps you understand your own finances.
Okay.
And the language of business, investing, is about putting your money to work for you, generating returns instead of just letting it sit idle.
Right.
Understanding markets involves recognizing opportunities and trends, anticipating where things are headed.
Okay.
And the law, that helps you navigate the legal and regulatory landscape, protecting your assets and minimizing your liabilities.
That's a lot to take in.
It is.
Does he expect everyone to be like an expert in all of these areas?
No, he emphasizes that it's not about becoming, a master in each field, but having at least a basic understanding of how they all work together. Once you grasp those fundamentals, you can apply them to any type of investment, whether it's real estate, stocks, or even starting your own business.
Gotcha.
He even says it's not rocket science, it's just money.
That is reassuring.
It is.
So it's about acquiring a solid foundation of knowledge
Yes.
that you can build upon over time.
Absolutely. And he stresses that this is a lifelong journey, not a destination.
Right.
You're always learning, adapting, and refining your skills.
One thing that really resonated with me was his focus on overcoming fear.
Oh, yeah.
He seems to believe that fear is one of the biggest obstacles to achieving financial success.
It is. It's a big one.
And I've certainly experienced that myself.
Oh, me too.
He
offers some interesting strategies for dealing with that fear.
Okay, like what?
Well, one is to reframe it as a motivator,
Okay.
using it to drive you to learn and grow. Remember that little rhyme he shares? If you hate risk and worry, start early.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's about taking action, even if it's scary.
Yeah.
The longer you wait, the more risk you're taking with your financial future.
Exactly. It's about taking calculated risks and understanding that setbacks are inevitable. He talks about the importance of learning from your mistakes and bouncing back from failures.
Well,
He even compares it to, learning to ride a bike.
okay.
You're going to fall a few times,
Yeah.
but that's just part of the process.
So it's not about avoiding failure.
No.
It's about learning to navigate it and use it as a stepping stone.
Exactly.
I love that analogy.
Yeah, and he really drives home the point that knowledge without action is useless. Kiyosaki stresses that it's not enough to, read books and attend seminars.
Right.
You have to get out there and apply what you've learned.
He's a big believer in learning by doing, right?
He is.
He
Yeah.
encourages readers to experiment, make mistakes,
Yes.
and adjust their approach as they go.
It's about being proactive and not letting fear or doubt hold you back.
Yeah, and he even shares some specific examples of how he applied his principles
He does.
to make quick profits in the real estate market.
He does. Remember that $75,000 house he bought for $20,000
Yeah.
and quickly sold for a profit?
That was impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, that was an example of how he used his knowledge of the market and his willingness to take action to create an opportunity.
Exactly.
It sounds like he's encouraging us to be bold.
Yes.
Think outside the box.
Think outside the box, yes.
He emphasizes that these weren't complicated schemes,
No.
but simple strategies that leveraged his understanding of financing, his willingness to take action, and his knowledge of the market.
And he even points out that the legal paperwork and property management were handled by others.
Okay.
His role was to identify the opportunity and make it happen.
So I guess that's what he means by minding your own business.
Yeah.
It's about focusing on your strengths.
Yeah.
Building a team of experts to support you in areas where you might not be as strong.
You're catching on.
Okay,
It's about leveraging your skills and resources effectively.
this is all so inspiring. It's giving me a whole new perspective on how to approach my financial goals.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, thanks.
There's one more key concept from Rich Dad, Poor Dad that I think we should explore before wrapping up this part of our deep dive.
Okay.
The power of finding mentors.
Oh, yeah.
Kiyosaki repeatedly emphasizes the importance of surrounding yourself with people
Yeah.
who can guide and support you on your financial journey.
He talks about how his rich dad served as a mentor for him,
Yes.
teaching him about money and business.
Mm-hmm.
in a way that traditional education never could.
Right.
Didn't he also encourage readers to find their own financial heroes?
He did?
That was one of my favorite takeaways from the book.
Yeah, it was a good one.
It was.
He believes you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can learn from those who have already achieved what you want to achieve,
Yeah.
studying their successes and failures.
That's like having a personal board of advisors
It is.
for your financial life.
Yes, and it's not just about seeking out advice.
Okay.
It's about observing how successful people think and act and modeling their behaviors.
Okay.
Kiyosaki even mentions how he would subconsciously channel the boldness of Donald Trump when making business decisions.
So it's about surrounding yourself with people who embody the qualities you want to develop in yourself.
Yes.
Almost like you're borrowing their mental blueprints.
Precisely. It's a powerful way to accelerate your learning
Yeah.
and avoid common pitfalls.
That makes sense.
And it ties into another key concept from the book, the importance of constantly learning and expanding your financial knowledge.
He's a firm believer in investing in your education, right?
He is.
Whether it's through books, seminars,
Mm-hmm.
or even just talking to people who are, more experienced than you.
Yeah, he seems to have this insatiable curiosity about finance,
Yeah.
constantly seeking out new information and challenging conventional wisdom.
It is inspiring.
It is.
Yeah.
He encourages readers to be like sponges, absorbing knowledge from every source they can. He even shares how he found valuable information in the most unexpected places, like a $385 seminar that ended up leading to millions in profits.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's not always about formal education.
It's not, no.
It's about being open to learning from diverse sources and experiences.
Exactly. And with that, I think we've covered some of the most crucial strategies and takeaways from this second part of Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Okay.
We've explored how to strategically approach home ownership, the importance of minding your own business, navigating the complexities of taxes, and mastering those 4 technical skills of financial intelligence.
We've also talked about overcoming fear, learning from mistakes, taking action, and the power of finding mentors.
Yeah,
There's so much valuable information packed into this book.
there is.
It's really about taking control of your financial destiny.
It is.
Yeah.
And that brings us to our final part, where we'll delve into the personal development aspects of Rich Dad, Poor Dad,
Okay.
exploring how our beliefs and emotions can really impact our financial journey.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. And we're back for the final part of our deep dive into Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
All right, let's wrap this up.
I feel like we've covered so much ground already. Understanding assets and liabilities, the importance of financial literacy and taking action.
We've hit a lot of the big stuff.
But there's one more crucial piece of the puzzle
Right.
that Kiyosaki really emphasizes,
Yeah.
the role of our own personal development and emotions when it comes to money.
It's really interesting how he connects those two worlds, right?
Yeah.
Kiyosaki argues that financial success isn't just about the numbers and strategies. It's about mastering your mindset,
Okay.
your emotions.
Yeah, your internal world, right?
Exactly. He believes that your internal world can either sabotage or support your financial journey.
That makes sense. I mean, our beliefs and attitudes about money, they can definitely hold us back or propel us forward, right?
Absolutely.
So how does he suggest we tackle those internal obstacles?
Well, he identifies 5 main reasons why people struggle financially,
Okay.
and most of them are rooted in fear and self-doubt.
Okay.
So do any of these sound familiar? Fear of losing money, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, or arrogance?
I think we've all experienced that fear of losing money
Yeah.
at some point.
Oh, for sure.
It can be so paralyzing especially when you're trying to make investment decisions.
Right, but he addresses that head on.
Yeah.
Remember how he encourages us to reframe that fear?
Yes.
Instead of letting it control us, he says, use it as a motivator to learn and grow.
Yeah.
And he reminds us, if you hate risk and worry, start early.
Right. The longer you wait to invest and build your assets, the more risk you're actually taking with your financial future.
Exactly. And he emphasizes that setbacks and failures,
Yeah, they're going to happen.
they're inevitable.
Yeah.
It's about learning from those experiences, bouncing back stronger.
So it's not about avoiding failure.
No.
It's learning to navigate it. Use it as a stepping stone.
Right. He even compares it to learning to ride a bike.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to fall a few times, but that's part of the process.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about cynicism? How does that play into our financial lives?
Well, Kiyosaki believes that cynicism can blind us to opportunities.
Okay.
It keeps us stuck in a negative mindset And it prevents us from seeing those possibilities.
You can't see the forest for the trees, right?
Exactly. He encourages readers to challenge those assumptions, be open to new ideas, and cultivate a more optimistic outlook.
Like the man is saying, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right.
Yeah.
Our beliefs really do shape our reality, Try.
They do.
Now, he also talks about laziness
Yes.
as a major obstacle,
Yeah.
but not just in the traditional sense of the word.
Not in the, sitting on the couch kind of way.
Right.
He describes it as a form of procrastination,
Oh.
a way of staying busy just to avoid facing our financial realities.
Avoiding that discomfort.
Yes, the discomfort of taking control.
Yeah.
Making changes.
So it's not about being physically lazy.
Yeah.
It's about being mentally avoiding the work
Yes.
that needs to be done to improve your financial situation.
Exactly. And the antidote to that kind of laziness is action.
Okay.
Even if it's just small steps towards your goals.
Okay.
He stresses that consistent action, even if it feels insignificant at the time, is what ultimately leads to
It's
progress.
about building those good habits.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Which kind of brings us to our next one.
Yeah.
Bad habits.
How do those sabotage our financial success?
Yeah, how do those sabotage our financial success?
He highlights common bad habits like overspending,
Of course.
relying on credit, not tracking expenses.
Yeah, classic bad habits.
These habits keep us trapped in this cycle of debt and financial stress,
Yeah.
preventing us from actually building wealth.
So it's about replacing those bad habits with good ones,
Yeah.
like paying yourself first, living below your means,
Yeah.
being mindful of where your money is going.
Absolutely. He emphasizes that these habits are the foundation of long-term wealth building.
Right. It's not about deprivation.
No.
It's about making conscious choices
Yes.
that align with your financial goals.
Exactly.
Okay. And the last internal obstacle that he discusses is arrogance.
Ah, this is a good one.
How does that factor into our financial lives?
Arrogance can prevent us from learning and growing.
Okay.
Kiyosaki stresses the importance of humility, of being willing to admit when you don't know something,
Yeah.
being open to learning from others.
Yeah.
He suggests surrounding yourself with people who are smarter than you in certain areas, because this can be such a powerful way to expand your knowledge,
Yeah.
challenge your perspective.
It's about recognizing that we don't have all the answers
Right.
and being open to seeking guidance and mentorship
Yes.
from those who have more experience.
Exactly. It's about lifelong learning and recognizing that there's always more to discover.
So Rich Dad Poor Dad, it goes beyond just those financial strategies, right?
It does.
It offers these insights into personal development, emotional intelligence.
Yeah, and he talks about the power of having financial heroes. Those individuals who inspire us and make success seem more attainable. He encourages readers to identify their own financial role models and learn from their journeys.
So it's about surrounding yourself with those positive influences
Yeah.
and visualizing what's possible.
And a big part of that is taking ownership of your financial education.
Yes.
Kiyosaki is a huge advocate for self-education and constantly expanding your knowledge.
He emphasizes that it's not enough to just rely on traditional education.
Right. We need to be proactive, seek out information, challenge our assumptions, and constantly be learning and adapting.
He even found valuable information in unexpected places.
He did.
Like that $385 seminar
Yeah.
that led to millions in profits.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He believes those opportunities for learning.
They're everywhere.
They are
But we have to be open.
open and receptive.
Yeah. Rich Dad Poor Dad is a call to action, isn't it?
It is.
It's about taking control of our financial futures,
Yes.
developing that right mindset,
Mm-hmm.
and constantly seeking to learn and grow.
It's about challenging the status quo, questioning conventional wisdom, and creating your own unique path to financial freedom.
And I think one of the most empowering messages is that it's never too late to start.
It's not.
No matter where you are in your financial journey,
Yeah.
you can apply these principles to create a richer, more fulfilling life.
I completely agree. It's a reminder that true wealth encompasses so much more than just money.
Yeah.
It's about freedom, purpose, and having the resources to live a life aligned with your values.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? What one action will you take today to start applying the principles of Rich Dad Poor Dad to your own life? We hope this deep dive has sparked some new ideas and inspired you to take control of your financial future. Thanks for joining us.